Today's lesson is Move Over ChatGPT. There's a new AI kid on the block. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
I'm Roger, and today we're going to be talking about the new kid on the block in terms of AI, and that would be something called Sora. Of course, we've all heard about ChatGPT. That was news last year or maybe 2 years ago, but now it's kind of old hat. We all know about it, and we're waiting for the next innovation in AI technology. Well, it is here, and it's called Sora. And what Sora does, it gives us video clips that look amazingly real.
That's exactly right. Midjourney was another AI program that could make you pictures based on what you describe, but Sora apparently can do the same with video. With a few prompts, a few sort of descriptions and instructions to this program, it can produce photorealistic video, sound, all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely incredible. I guess pretty much in the future, any of us can be our own science fiction and special effects movie producer. We don't need to know how to make that stuff, to make rocket ships blast off or laser beams shoot out of a ray gun. We can just tell the computer to do it and it will make it for us. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and it's very hard right now to predict how it will change things, but I guess it's safe to say greatly. It'll change things greatly. But exactly how? Well, time will tell. Speaking of time, we have time to get into the first part of our article. So let's check it out, then we'll come back to chat about it.
Sora is currently limited to producing 1-minute clips, but improvements will soon make longer videos possible. Once that happens, the technology has the potential to become truly transformative. Film, television production, and game design will likely be revolutionized. And Sora's potential doesn't end there. Other possible uses include the creation of personalized educational materials and digital worlds for scientific study and training.
大家好，第一部分介绍名词 potential， 它的意思是潜力或是可能性。例如 The study results suggest that the drug has great potential as a heart medicine. 研究结果表明，该药物作为心脏疾病用药具有巨大的潜力。或者 Evelyn's teachers say she has the potential to become a great scientist. Evelyn 的老师说她有成为一名伟大科学家的潜力。接着看到 transformative 这个单字，它是形容词，表示彻底改观的。例如 Social media has had a transformative effect on our lives. 社群媒体对我们的生活带来彻底改观的影响。或是 Living abroad can be a very transformative experience. 在海外生活可以是个带来彻底改观的经验。继续看到名词 creation， 它的意思是创作或是创造。例如The new policy is expected to aid job creation. 新政策预期有助于创造工作机会。也可以说 The accident led to the creation of new safety regulations in the workplace. 这次的事故导致公司制定了新的安全法规。再来介绍形容词 digital， 表示数位的或是数字的。我们可以说 Digital currencies are gaining popularity in the global economy. 数位货币在全球经济中越来越普及。又或者说 A digital sign on the side of the road showed the speed of passing cars. 路边的电子告示牌显示着来往车辆的车速。
Okay, so the first paragraph today actually tells us what Sora is. Sora is currently limited to producing 1-minute clips, but improvements will soon make longer videos possible. So that's the way it is right now. It is limited to only 1-minute long clips. Okay, a clip, of course, is a short bit of footage from a movie. Okay, sometimes, of course, if you want to see a movie, they'll show you the trailer, which kind of previews the movie for you. It will have a series of clips showing parts of the movie. So a clip is just a short section of a video or a movie, and now they can only produce 1-minute clips, but of course they will have improvements, and then longer videos will be possible, and that might put some video production companies out of business.
Exactly. As it says, once that happens, once longer videos are able to be made or possible, the technology has the potential to become truly transformative. So once we can make more than 1-minute videos, say 30-minute videos or even up to 2 hours like a normal movie length, once that happens, this technology or the technology has the potential, the possibility to become truly transformative. When we talk about the potential of something, we're talking about the possible performance that it could produce. What is possible? Not what is going to happen necessarily, but what is possible. Okay, so if you're talking about a new business, this business has the potential to be the number one in its field. If we work well, if we're a bit lucky, and we put in the hard work and come up with good plans and get good results, we could be the number one in our field. If, on the other hand, we make a lot of mistakes and use it badly and don't take advantages of some of the opportunities, then we might not. We might end up going out of business. Every company has the potential to go out of business, but very few of them might have the potential to become the leader in their field. But that's the possibility, basically, the chance that this could happen. So there's a great potential for this to become transformative. Something transformative basically changes everything. It's kind of like saying it's revolutionary. So we don't know exactly how it will change things, but if it does change things, it'll change a lot of things greatly. So that's basically what we're saying. And it looks like Sora is going to be quite an important technology in the future, and a name we're probably going to be hearing a lot. So what exactly could be transformed?
Yeah, what could be changed? What could involve a large change? Well, film, television production, and game design will likely be revolutionized.
Wow.
They will be transformed, we could say.
Those are some big areas.
Exactly, and that's large areas that are part of our lives. So film, of course, talks about movies, as you said. You can go see those in the theater or on your device or whatever. And we've got television production, which, of course, is programs for TV, which, again, will end up on your computer in some form. And we've also got game design, which will also end up on your phone. These are different kinds of games that people like to play. And if you use this particular software program, it could design games that are normally designed by people. And, of course, those game designers will probably have to struggle to find employment. Hopefully, they'll find jobs as dishwashers or as waiters, because I don't think AI is going to replace those kinds of jobs anytime soon.
That might be a small comfort to the people who lose their job at the film studios and all the other places. But yeah, you wouldn't need cameramen. You wouldn't need special effects people. You wouldn't need lighting people. You can do it all on the computer, all using Sora. And it says Sora's potential doesn't end there. So it's not just in those areas, film, TV, game design. That's not everything that Sora will be changing or transforming. Other possible uses include the creation of personalized educational materials and digital worlds for scientific study and training. So every kid can basically have their own textbook, and it will teach them subjects in different ways based on their interests or their habits or the kind of things that might engage those kids. That would be personalized, so it's sort of unique and set up for each individual person. And the creation of something is just when you make something. When you make something, you create something. That thing that you have made is a creation. So if you're a baker, that birthday cake or that wedding cake is your creation. If you're an artist, that song or that poem or that painting or whatever it is your creation. So this will allow for people to create, or the creation of, these educational materials and digital worlds for scientific study and training. Here I'm kind of thinking of the metaverse or something like that. It might actually be able to create whole environments inside computers that it would feel like we're walking around in and experiencing and interacting with. Digital basically just means of the computer, using microchips, using the power of processors and silicon and stuff like that. So worlds inside computers, kind of like that idea of the metaverse that we've heard about, this world in a computer where you can kind of live your life as much as you want.
Right, so it could be personalized again according to your own specifications. Like, for example, if you want to study Japanese, you could tell it exactly the kinds of words you want to learn and in what kind of environment and what kinds of announcers will read the material to you. And it will personalize it for you, and therefore it will improve your ability in learning various things like Japanese or whatever. And so that's potential. That has the potential to change things in the future as well. Let's continue to talk about Sora in the next paragraph. We will listen first.
Despite these exciting possibilities, Sora presents serious ethical concerns. One major issue comes from its ability to create deepfakes, realistic false videos impersonating real people. Thanks to how believable they are, deepfakes pose significant threats to society. If used for dark purposes, they could cause misunderstandings between nations, influence elections, and damage personal reputations. Because of these risks, OpenAI has chosen not to release Sora to the general public until stronger safety measures have been developed.
第二部分看到形容词 ethical， 它的意思是道德的、伦理的，或是合乎伦理规范的。例如 The geneticist's research raised a number of ethical questions. 这名遗传学家的研究引起一些道德方面的质疑。又或者说 The business practices at the company were not ethical, so I felt I had to quit. 公司的商业行为不道德，所以我认为我必须辞职。再来我们看到 realistic 这个单字，它是形容词，指的是逼真的、写实的，也可以是现实的或是务实的。举例来说 The special effects in the movie made the dinosaurs look realistic. 这部电影中的特效使恐龙看起来非常逼真。又或者说 Your goals seem realistic, so they shouldn't be too difficult to achieve. 你的目标似乎很务实，应该不会太难达成。最后看到名词 reputation， 它表示名声或是声誉。我们可以说 The mayor has a reputation as an honest politician. 那位市长享有诚实政治人物的名声。也可以说 The company has a good reputation for making quality products. 这间公司以制造优质产品而有良好的声誉。
All right, back to our article. It says, despite these exciting possibilities, Sora presents serious ethical concerns. Okay, so on paper, when we look at the possibilities and the potential of Sora, it's very exciting, right? A lot of opportunities, a lot of new things will suddenly become possible. But often with great and quick technological and scientific change comes serious ethical concerns. Now we get into the ethics of it. How right or wrong is it to do this? Just because we can do it, does that mean that we necessarily should do it? So ethics is basically the morals, right, of the world, the right and the wrong, the things that we accept as being good, the things that we judge as being bad. When we're talking about using DNA technology to allow people to live forever or allow people to custom design their babies or things like that. Yes, it's possible we could allow people to live to be 400 years old, but should we? We could allow parents to have, no matter where you're from or what you look like, have your kids look beautiful with blonde hair and blue eyes, even if you're from Japan or something like that. But should we? Should we do this? Should we allow parents to design like super babies that will never get sick and will all be amazingly intelligent? That's where the ethics or the ethical concerns, the worries about the right and the wrong of these issues, that's where those questions really start to come up. And we have one good example here.
Yep, one major issue or one potential problem comes from its ability to create deep fakes, which are realistic false videos impersonating real people. Deep fake here is a modern term. We have this term nowadays that's pretty new. We haven't really heard it before, at least not in the recent history. But yeah, deep fake is when somebody creates an image of somebody or a sound of somebody saying something or acting a certain way when they really didn't. And so maybe you've got a political opponent that you don't like or you'd like to defeat this person. You make this video making them appear to to have an affair with their secretary or saying terrible things. And that's what a deep fake is. And yes, indeed, this video would impersonate a real person. So if you impersonate someone, you act like that person. You try to convince the other person that you or your image is actually that person. In entertainment, of course, we've got impersonators who try to act like other people. I'm not very good at impersonating people myself. I think I used to be able to do Richard Nixon, but I think that's before a lot of people's time here. Can you impersonate anybody, Michael?
No, not
That's
really.
not your forte,
really.
but some people are pretty good at impersonating other people. And in this particular case, deepfakes would impersonate real people. They would have like Barack Obama or Trump or whatever saying things that they didn't actually say. And lots of people would be fooled by these videos.
Exactly. A lot of people see things on the internet and don't think about where they come from. They just believe them and then go off and do crazy things. And that's where deep fakes could definitely cause problems in society. It says, thanks to how believable they are, deep fakes pose significant threats to society. Yeah. People can see videos that might show some awful, horrible event taking place or action being done by someone. They can then go off and try to get revenge for that, not realizing that the whole thing was just created by a computer. None of it actually happened. So that can pose a significant threat to society. It could be possibly a big danger or a big threat to society. Remember, a lot of this stuff is potential. We're talking about how potential it is, but it could happen. If used for dark purposes, they could cause misunderstandings between nations, influence elections, and damage personal reputations. So there's a few of the simple things that we could predict that deep fakes might cause problems with if they're used for dark purposes or evil purposes, trying to cause a bad effect. They could cause misunderstandings between nations. If suddenly you had a video of Joe Biden, insulting the King of England or something like that and talking about how Britain is such a silly country, that would put a lot of people in Britain and make a lot of them upset and cause problems or misunderstandings between the nations, problems that shouldn't be problems just because people have gotten the facts confused. That's a misunderstanding. It could influence elections, absolutely. If you had one political candidate saying bad things about the country, then the other political candidate could benefit from getting more votes. And it could also damage personal reputation. We could have all sorts of famous people saying horrible things just because certain people don't like them or they want to affect their careers or something like that, and their reputation will suffer. Your reputation is basically what people think of you, both your friends, your family, and the general public. When we ask people, what do you think of when I show you this or say this or describe this to me? And then they're talking about their reputation. It might not exactly be true to the facts, but it's what people think. So that's important as well.
Okay, so because of these risks, OpenAI has chosen not to release Sora to the general public until stronger safety measures have been developed. So it's not out yet. We've got some samples online somewhere you can check out, but you can't really use this program yet because OpenAI is concerned about these ethical questions. They want to make sure these things are taken care of before we can start using it. Okay, we're at the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Here comes the third part.
It's too soon to know for certain, but Generation Alpha will probably grow up with Sora and other AI tools playing a central role in their lives. As they explore this strange new digital world, guiding AI's responsible development and creating clear rules will be key to safely achieving the full potential of this amazing technology.
All right, back to the article. It's too soon to know for certain, but Generation Alpha will probably grow up with Sora and other AI tools playing a central role in their lives. Yeah, it's too soon to know for certain because Generation Alpha are basically young children right now. They're not going to be using complicated AI systems quite yet, maybe in a few more years. So we can't really know how it will affect them as they grow up and go through school and develop relationships, pursue careers as they get older, but they will be growing up with this technology, with Sora and other AI tools playing a central role in their lives. I mean, if you're a 20, 30, 40-year-old now, yes, you can play around with these new AI systems, but it won't be something that was a feature of your life from your first memories. It won't be part of your youth, your experience growing up. So that will be very different. As they explore this strange new digital world, guiding AI's responsible development and creating clear rules will be key to safely achieving the full potential of this amazing technology. And that will be a big challenge, trying to get the world to agree on rules that we're going to have in place to make sure that AI doesn't affect too many people in a negative way.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this new technology. Hopefully, things will turn out for the better. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Let's listen now to Hanny, who is a real person.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分的第一句写到 Despite these exciting possibilities, Sora presents serious ethical concerns. 尽管有这些令人兴奋的可能性，但 Sora 却具有严重的道德问题。那这边要介绍的句型是 despite 或者是 in spite of 加上名词，逗号，主词加动词。这样的句型是表达尽管怎么样怎么样，虽然怎么样怎么样。那么 despite 和 in spite of 是介系词，它后面是要接名词或动名词，就像文中的用法。特别注意，如果要在 despite 或者是 in spite of 后面接子句，不能直接接主词加动词哦。这时候必须先接名词同位语，可能像是 the fact， 然后我们再接 that 子句。所以你就可以写作 despite the fact that 怎么样怎么样 in spite of the fact that 点点点。好，那么课文接着提到 Sora 的一个主要问题是能够创造声位，由于其可信性，声位对社会造成的重大威胁。那文中是用 pose significant threats to society 来表达对社会造成重大威胁。那句子里面这个 pose 是当动词来表达造成、引起，它的受词通常是表示风险或是问题的名词，像 pose a problem 造成问题， pose a danger 造成危险， pose a hazard 造成危害、危险， pose a risk 造成危险、风险等等。那这些用语后面都可以接 to 加名词去表达对某人或某事物造成了什么什么。举例来说 Air pollution poses a serious threat to our health. 空气污染对我们的健康造成了严重的威胁。好，那么课文下一句接着提到，如果被用于邪恶目的，它们可能会引起国家之间的误解，影响选举，并损害个人声誉。那文中有用到 misunderstanding 这个名词来指误会、误解，它是由字首 mis 表示错误的、不好的，加上 understanding 了解、理解，把它组合在一起而来。那我们顺便来介绍一下 mis 这个字首。这个字首它可以表达不好啊、错误、缺乏等等那种否定、不适宜、不适合的意思。那当这个字首跟动词结合的时候，三态变化会跟原本动词相同。以 mislead 这个动词来当例子，它是由字首 mis 表示错误的，然后加上字根 lead 表示带领、引导，把它结合在一起 mislead 就是误导，使什么产生错误想法。那由于 lead 这个字动词三态是 lead, led, led， 所以 mislead 的动词三态就会是 mislead, misled, misled。 我们再补充几个带有这个字首的单字哦，像是 misuse 就是由 miss 不当 use 使用加在一起变成误用、使用不当的意思。那么 mishandle 它是由 miss 不好、不当加上 handle 处理，所以合在一起就是对什么处置不当的意思。还有 mistrust 它是由 miss 表示缺乏， trust 表示信任，合在一起 mistrust 就有猜疑、不信任的意思咯。好，那以上是今天的重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Potential.The land along the coast has great potential for future development projects. Creation. Only a short time after its creation, the song was already being heard by people around the world. Digital. Digital textbooks offer students a convenient alternative to traditional textbooks. Ethical. There are lots of ethical concerns about the collection of personal information by tech companies. Realistic. The film provided a realistic view of life in the inner city. Reputation. People don't trust Donald because he has a reputation for making false promises.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today. The question is, do you think that Sora and similar AI tools will ultimately be more helpful or harmful to humanity, and why?
Well, I'd say given that the internet and especially social media has caused a lot of fracturing and stress in societies, I believe that Sora and similar tools will ultimately be more harmful than helpful. I'm afraid to say that, but I'm not feeling too optimistic at this point.
Well, somebody's got to be optimistic, and the cat is out of the bag. This technology is here now. We're not going to get rid of it. So I think such tools will ultimately be of more benefit than harm to people. At the beginning, yes, we're going to have conflicts with these things, but when you put good and evil together to compete with each other, good will always prevail.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.